Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Mahala Monday. I hope everybody is well. It just feels like it's been forever. Morning, Rhoda.
It feels like it as well. Good morning, good morning, everybody.
Good weekend it was, good week it was, and we are back, man. I'm super excited about today. I'm just super excited about today because, you know what, this is... I don't know, you do it. I'm just happy. I'm just happy.
Obviously, being the month of celebrating us women, you know, it's quite exciting having today's topic as well because it's one of the industries that you don't really have many ladies in. So, and that's why I myself is excited about it because, you know what, we need to basically be those guys that's climbing on the moon and putting those first steps there, which is the ladies having to put their foot on and saying, we are making a difference and putting up our little flag on our little moon and saying, we here.
Yeah, you know, and so keep that in the back of the mind.
Yeah.
But now, let me put it out there. Yeah, I'm going to ask you a question and answer and go really yes or no and be truthful. Do you know what's coding? There we go.
There we go.
It is that simple. And this is what we're talking about today. So it's super exciting. And here's the extra exciting bit for you right now because we're live, YouTube, Facebook. You can ask questions. Yeah. Well, not to me, maybe Rhoda. But the problem is, the good thing is we bring in somebody who knows all of these things. You ask them the questions, you get the answers, baby.
There we go.
At Nickay Productions, you got the details is at the bottom of your screen. So that is what we're talking about.
That's
like you said, it's Women's Month as well. And we want to talk about this sector because it is doing this.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it?
It is definitely doing that. And ladies out there, please stop thinking it's a man's world and I can't do this. Stop that.
Yeah.
You're creating a block for yourself. It's like, you know what, Hubert said the one day, you're creating that wall, you know, how about opening the door and creating a door that you can actually walk through?
Yeah, and it is very, very exciting. So that brings us to our guests for today. Now, before we introduce you to the guest and tell you exactly what we're talking about, I want to remind you, at Nickay Productions, that is how you get in touch with us. So please, we look forward to your questions and comments, and we certainly welcome them. And also, if you have a question for Rhoda, please put it in there. So here we go. We are talking to WeThinkCode.
Code, oh yeah.
It is that simple. Now, I promise you, those three words coming together, it is harmony. It is just brilliance. Velvet robes will par. It is just all the excitement. I promise you. So you don't want to miss this. You've got to share this with everybody.
That is right.
And we're very lucky today because Cheryl Fredericks is joining us from WeThinkCode. We're going to find out everything about WeThinkCode. Cheryl, good morning. Welcome to Mahala Monday. How are you doing?
Good morning, I'm well, thanks. It's great to be here.
No, thank you so much for joining us, man. We are super excited having you here because big fans, big fans.
Yes, totally.
Let's just put it out there, big fans.
Oh, yes.
And before we get things underway, so you are part of sourcing and recruitment. That is what you do at WeThinkCode.
Yes, exactly. So basically what we do is, everyone can hear me fine?
Yeah, we can hear you fine. Go
for it.
So basically what I do with my partner as part of sourcing and recruitment is trying to build the pipelines in order to get capable students into our program and finding the right people.
Ah, I like that.
Excellent.
It's like a special, it's almost like spy stuff. But you know what I mean? No, because, and I'm being serious when I say that. Like, I say that with the greatest amount of respect, and I'm paying a compliment. This is like, special. I like that. All right. So, let me ask you the first question. Let's get into it. People, because I mentioned coding on top. We're going to get into that shortly. But quickly, give us the overview. Who is WeThinkCode? What is WeThinkCode? Ooh.
Of course. So WeThinkCode, it's a 2-year tuition-free software development training academy. So our mission here is to recruit some of the sharpest minds in underserved communities and give them that platform to become exceptional software developers and also access to permanent employment as well.
I like that. So it is an independent software development training academy. That is what you are saying.
Mm-hmm.
And now, how many students would there be? Would you know? Are we talking hundreds, gazillions, thousands? Because this is definitely a sector that is constantly growing.
Of course. So you'll find we started out in 2016, and since then we've been gaining momentum and traction. in our sourcing initiatives and the kind of people that we find. So currently, and for the first time, we are starting our new cohort or our new semester with about 700 students.
Wow.
And we've also recently opened up a new campus in Durban, bringing us up to 3.
So where are the current campuses?
So our flagship would be in Johannesburg, and then we opened one in Cape Town in 2018, and 2020 is Durban.
Excellent, excellent.
Brilliant. And that shows quite the development, because you know what? Once I see this happening and you're starting opening up more branches, that is for me definitely a positive, a big positive at the end of the day. So obviously there's a lot of people out there, I'm not going to say my age group really, but a lot of people out there, especially parents out there, that actually doesn't know what is software development. So, you know, they need to know a little bit more so that they can actually go to their children and tell them, look here, look into this, and this is what it's all about, so that we as parents don't sound a little bit too stupid either. So what is software development?
Cool. So until very recently, this having access to computers and software development was usually something exclusive. Like not a lot of people would have access to that kind of thing, but in recent years, it really started to gain traction. And what it is, and all it is a set of instructions or code. It's being able to communicate with a computer and tell it exactly what kind of tasks you need it to do.
Wow.
So it's something that's really great for creative people or problem solvers.
Oh, so sorry, Dougal.
Yeah,
I've got you there as well. You can ask it. So in actual fact, it's basically like another language. Like we've got our 11 languages, it will be like almost like another language.
Exactly. That's such a perfect way of putting it, because you'll find that even within software development, you'll find many languages that one could use to try and like communicate whatever ideas or problems you're trying to solve. And like any language, it comes with its own like syntaxes and intricacies. Obviously not, if you're learning a language, not everyone will be a fantastic novelist, you know, but you could still write a very nice poem or solve something in your own day-to-day life.
So just to put it in perspective now, I've got this idea for, let's say, a video game in my head, right? And in there, my main character is Rhoda, and she goes around and does a thing and saves people from burning buildings. So I'm creating this thing and little challenges and monsters jumping in and out. That is the language we're talking about. That is the software development. Like there goes Rhoda over the screen. It is creating those things.
Yeah, pretty much. So literally everything from your video games to websites, to like data science, to machine learning. These are all things that fall into this world of software engineering.
And that all forms part of coding as well. Now, you mentioned it's languages within languages. So is that, because I remember C, that's a language, right?
That is a language, yeah.
It's a C code.
C is a language, yeah. And I feel sorry for A and B because it's not a language. It's like C, we skip 2 and we go to C.
I forget about A and B.
Yeah.
I'm much more clearer on software development now, what it's all about.
Thanks for putting it succinctly, though, because it is, you know what, Rhoda, and Cheryl as well, it is an exciting development, because this is really where we're going to now. That is going to be the main way of employing people within the next 40. No, not even 40.
No.
What am I saying?
Say,
next
now,
week. Next
definitely.
week. Next
definitely.
week. Yeah. That will be it.
So Cheryl, so for me as why would this be an exciting, career choice? Why was it for you an exciting career choice?
I suppose it's the amount of like flexibility that it allows. In order to be a successful or even like a really good software developer, you don't need your traditional education, like tertiary qualifications, as one might have had to previously. It's something, if you have access to like a reliable internet connection, it's something you can get into just like that. A great thing about software development is that it is a tool to try and solve some of the problems, and that is always a great place to start. Trying to identify problems within your community or with you personally, and trying to use this tool to solve them.
I like that. So So there's quite a bit of things, and also when you think about it in today's world, if I may say this, just sort of standing back, we live in a COVID world and in a pandemic world. All of a sudden, everybody's working from home. We're doing things remotely. I mean, case in point, Mahala Monday.
Yeah.
You know, and then this is really the sector that is driving that. And also because of things like this, we are so far ahead with technology now. We're doing things now we might have only done 10 years from now, but we're doing it now. And as we people, a while ago, people used new normal. No new normal, it's normal now.
It's normal now.
Yeah, no, normal now.
So obviously, Cheryl, this is where it comes into where you as a developer, and obviously as Dougal had said with COVID and that you are creating programs, because obviously every business got different needs on different programs, different apps, if I'm speaking correctly, that you guys develop in order to assist these companies. Am I correct? Is that what the developer is about?
Yes, pretty much. So many of our corporate sponsors have specific needs that they need met. So our students would be trained like along those sectors.
Okay. No, so we got you. And Rhoda wanted to ask you something as well.
I just heard you say the corporate sponsor. So what is that all about?
So our program is completely tuition free. So that means like once you're in here, you don't pay a dime. And this is possible with the help of our corporate sponsors. I don't have a slide showing you a few of them, but they basically sponsor our students in order to complete the 2-year study here. And at the end of the 2 years, they are guaranteed like student candidates that join their team.
Wow.
Sure.
Excellent.
Because we were going to ask you what makes WeThinkCode special.
But that's one of them.
And I almost think I just got to ask you that question again. So you could just repeat exactly what you say again. And that's me going like big news flash. Cheryl, what makes WeThinkCode special? I want you to say this again, because this is something that the world needs to listen to. Say everything you just did. Just say it again.
Exactly as I said it.
Yeah.
Sure. Just give me a second, please.
No, it's fine. Take you the anticipation, because this is big, what you just said.
Okay, so what makes WeThinkCode so special is that we have a cutting-edge curriculum that equips our students with technical and like behavioral skills that will extend beyond their time here at WeThinkCode. Skills that allow you to adapt quickly and add value to any software environment that you might find yourself in. And I must add that the driving force behind WeThinkCode, and this one is important, it's our peer-to-peer methodology. So we don't have any lectures here, and all our material is delivered digitally. And what makes all of this possible is our students' own curiosity. It's because that curiosity drives discovery. So that's what we're all about here. And of course, it's a pathway to employment once you've completed the program.
I like that. And I want you to repeat the bit that you said about corporates.
The sponsors.
Yeah.
Specifically about the sponsors.
Yeah, specifically
yes,
that.
That's special to us.
So as I mentioned, the program is completely free. And what makes this possible is that we have corporate sponsors that fund our students' stay here at WeThinkCode. At the end of the 2 years, the students are guaranteed employment at one of these sponsors. So they also get that like real world experience at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
You know what? I just need time to digest that because I've lost vocabulary because of what you've just said.
Of course.
Sponsor students, the corporate donors, the sponsors. They do this at no cost, guaranteed employment at said donor.
Said donor.
For the student.
There we go.
My goodness. Hubert has got a comment. It says, talk is cheap. Show me the code. Good morning. Very interesting show. Hubert, we got Pandora's box, mate. We don't need the code. That last statement that she made is Pandora's box, if you ask me.
That is the box.
Wow. Wow. And Yuba, thank you very much for that. Yeah. Yuba just summed it up as well.
It does sound better. And this is the reason why, Dougal, for me, for the students out there, for the women out there, there is no reason why you cannot actually take this. It's a silver platter.
Yeah.
You know, grab it with both hands, take advantage of it. Yeah, they're paying for you for your studies, and you're basically getting a job. But it needs to be obviously the fact that you're actually into this coding, into this language. If you understand that, obviously, then it will be a success as well.
And also, Cheryl, a moment ago, you said something, a lot of it is driven by students' curiosity. So obviously that means, we know we all think different. Students have very different interests, they're curious in very different ways. And of course, that means things, the boundaries just get expanded all the time.
Exactly. Like, I suppose we can only sow the seeds, but once you leave this institution, the things that you learn here should continue. And it's something that we would like to see like snowball within your professional career. So yeah, and that is largely driven by someone's own curiosity to continue wanting to learn.
So let's ask you this. So what do you then learn at WeThinkCode?
Like in terms of like the topics, what we cover?
Yeah.
What do you learn?
What do you do? What do you learn?
Okay, so I can tell you that we offer a NQF level 5 in information systems. So we basically start out with like the fundamentals of programming. I don't know if I've mentioned it, but our program, we try to make it as accessible as possible to people with no prior experience. So we start out with the,
So sorry, can you maybe just put that slide up for us? The one with what you learn at WeThinkCode?
Scarce, I haven't included it in this slideshow.
Oh, okay.
No problem, Cheryl.
Not a
Please
problem.
continue.
Yes, so we do start out with the fundamentals of programming in the Python language, and we build our way up to object-oriented programming before moving on to web applications. In our students' second year, they focus mainly on mobile applications and distributed systems.
Okay. So did you mention programming Python? What?
That is another language,
Is
yeah.
Python a language?
Yeah.
Okay, I've watched Harry Potter, Parcel Tongue. That's how it is. So I've got C, Python. Okay.
You've got another one there, Dougal.
Yeah.
It looks like every time we got WeThinkCode on,
I learn,
Dougal
baby.
learns every time.
I learn. I learn.
So what else does a program offer, if we may ask then?
Cool. So something that we are really excited about, and at WeThinkCode, is our Women Think Code program.
Okay. What is that?
So, Women Think Code. So, we've identified this huge gap in the industry.
There
Like,
we
I'm
go.
sure as everyone that's watching this is aware, like women are very much in the minority when it comes to your STEM fields like engineering and especially software development. So what we have aimed to do when we started out at WeThinkCode was to create gender parity and basically get like 50-50 here. And a lot of this is driven by our Women Think Code program. So we're trying to like shift this narrative and ensure that young women understand that they have the logic and problem solving abilities to drive them towards successful and rewarding careers in software development. And we are committed to ensuring that this is the case. With this comes things that we do as well. Excuse me. So within these 2 years, we provide a network of support for the women at WeThinkCode, and we create allied support on campus and in the industry. Monthly industrial expert talks to expose our students to like female role models that are out there in the field as well as one-on-one mentorships in a student's second year.
And Cheryl, let's ask you this, because I suppose pudding proof and all of that. Let's ask you this. I mean, you've been with WeThinkCode for a little bit, and considering the numbers of people applying or enrolling, are we seeing an increase in female applicants?
It's actually so crazy, because what we saw in the people in the the distribution of people that were applying is that we actually had more women applying to be a part of the program, but the drop-off for women was much higher. So the drop-off between applying and actually getting into the program. I think this is largely towards some kind of, what's it called? Like an imposter syndrome, so to speak. I remember when I started out at WeThinkCode, very much in the minority when it came to like the female representation on campus. And because of that, you start to like ask yourself, like, should I be here? Am I in the right place? And I think we see that a lot in some of our applicants, and we're trying to like eradicate those kinds of mentalities and say, yes, you are in the right room. You're supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe in that.
And on what you say, I mean, what you guys do are phenomenal. Like, it's not, we can't, what you do is brilliant. Brilliant. WeThinkCode, outstanding. Olympic gold medalist. There you go. And I really mean that. But as you say, now we find once people have enrolled, there's a little bit of a drop off. And that speaks to that market, the sector, the employment sector that needs to change. That speaks to that disparity that exists after you've achieved your qualifications. Hey, Rhoda?
I would probably say so, Dugo, but I think also on just listening to what Cheryl had said, and I think I experienced that as well when back in the day when I studied in the field basically that was earmarked for men, which was CAD drafting. So, and we were only 2 ladies out of all the men, and when we had gone for the interview and the other lady that was with me, she said, oh no, she's backing out because it's a lady's job, a man's job. So that mentality shift as well for the ladies to say, no, it's not. It is for everybody out there. And then obviously, talking about what you're chatting as well, I do agree and I feel as well that the woman is not being given that opportunity, actually does have that studied and actually can prove herself and she can do it. So I think there as well, we need to do a lot of changes as well on saying that women are also capable in the workplace as well. And we need to push up those numbers, Dougal.
No, we have to. And this is what Cheryl was saying now with the mentorship.
Yeah.
Because that is a conversation will come up.
Yeah.
That is a conversation. So it's almost, they already foreseeing.
There we go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is it. And it's that societal change that I'm talking about that needs to happen.
Go.
Also, did you study code? Was it like Stokmanikies? That was the code back in the day, people.
That was the
now
code.
It's Python and C. I need another code name. Like, what is another language, Cheryl? Python, C, give me another one.
Another one would be Java.
Java, thank you. Coffee. I like snakes.
Java.
I like C, ding, middle C, and coffee, baby. This is it, Java. It's all happening for me right now. I like what you say with, and obviously when we look at the current IT, the tech sector, I mean, if you look at that sector right now, I mean, women are underrepresented, and what you guys are doing, you're really making it amazingly accessible, and it is there. It is there. It is absolutely there. Now, we want to talk about the courses as well with you, specifically with all the different courses that you offer. But I quickly just want to do 1 or 2 comments that have come through. This is actually the one I want to ask you because it will get us to where we want to be. Leon Bashley putting a question forward. Thank you, Leon. Thank you for putting it in. Leon is asking, Cheryl, how widely recognized is the qualification that you get? So we're talking accreditation here.
Right. So currently it is only recognized in South Africa.
Mm-hmm. So whatever I study will be recognized here.
Yes.
Excellent. And then I've got another question that came through from Hubert that we saw there as well. And there it is. And Hubert says, when we teach, we learn. Peer-to-peer learning or collaboration allows us to know more than we are capable of knowing by ourselves. Speaking in codes now. Yeah, there we go. Java, Python, C. Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more. The best way to try and learn anything is by creating, by practicing, and by trying to teach other people.
Yeah.
No, it is
that's so
absolutely a
true.
brilliant
That is
observation.
true.
It is absolutely outstanding. But there's so much more we want to, and gents, thank you very much for those questions. Thank you. We'll keep them coming. But we want to talk about also about the qualifications, because that is what I wanted to get to you. So please tell us quickly. So what are the qualifications that you offer?
So currently we only offer a NQF level 5, and that is in information systems.
Information
Okay.
systems. Are
That
you
is-
looking at obviously broadening this a bit more, seeing that you're basically opening branches in Durban and, you know, wanting to actually get this a bit more international as well?
Oh, definitely. I think the plan is like go Africa.
Oh, yeah.
Because obviously success isn't something that one can hoard to yourself. It's something that needs to be shared.
Oh, yeah.
So definitely in the pipeline, but for the time being, that's what we have going on.
Yeah. Cheryl, are you ever going to run for president? I want to vote for you.
It's way too much admin. I don't think I could.
I just want to find out, there was one little thing that stood out for me. The Code Clinic, the technical mentorship workshop, what is that all about?
So basically in our second year, so the technical mentors, it is second years that guide first years through their journey, because there's things that you've already absorbed. So it has this double whammy effect. On the one hand, you get to impart some of the wisdom that you've picked up at your time at WeThinkCode, and you also get to help other people try and get into the flow of things.
Oh my word.
Okay.
So for me, I mean, this is like a no-brainer.
It's another
you
gold
basically
medal.
still get the support at the end of the day. You're not going in there all blind, and there's somebody else that's done it and they can be able to mentor you. Oh my word.
Do you know? Do you know what is going to be? I'm sorry, this is just like a side comment, presenters thing. Do you know how when you recap a show? Oh, these were the highlights. I mean, we all.
And you made a list, Dougal.
This is like that's a whole show by itself. I'm sorry. Sure. So Cheryl, let's put everything in perspective. So we've got learners watching this. You got why young people are watching this. We got whoever watching this. Parents are watching this. Teachers are watching this. Explain to us everything. Somebody that's a matric now, they're grade 11, grade 12, doesn't matter. They've just completed. Or they at a tertiary institution when they're just about to finish that studies, and they thinking, you know what, software, that is what I want to do. That is where I want to go. That is where my interest is lying. Explain to us the roadmap. What do you do? How do you get in? How do you become part of this? How do you apply? Is there a cutoff? What do I do? Take me through that whole process quickly.
Of course. So right at the beginning, you apply via our website. You can't apply right now. Applications aren't currently open.
Okay.
But once you apply, we take you through a preliminary screening test, and this is just to see that if you possess like the basic attributes that we connect with a successful WeThinkCode student. After that, once you pass that preliminary test, you get invited to a 6-day boot camp. So this is basically where we test your chops. And although it is geared at complete beginners and people with no experience, we do also expect a certain standard of being able to adapt to a certain situation quickly, because this is very similar to what you might find in like a professional working environment. If you are successful in the boot camp, you join our cohort. What follows is about 16 months of training, technical training on the ground.
And that is, sorry,
campuses.
Cheryl, Cheryl, and that is where your course starts.
Yes, that's when the
Okay.
course starts.
All right.
Okay. So you'll have 16 months of technical training on either of our 3 campuses. And right at the end of it, you have a 4-month internship with one of our corporate sponsors, after which is graduation and work placement.
Sure.
Wow.
I like this. Now, let me just back up here a bit. Okay, so once applications are open, like you said, you apply online. Then there's a little, I don't know how you worded it, but like an aptitude test almost that you got to do just to see if you... Now, let me talk about that. Is it difficult? So what?
Well, I mean, it would be cheating if I told you, no?
Yeah,
But no, we're not trying to like trick people and like gotcha. We actually want you to be successful.
Okay. So we're looking at puzzles, that sort of thing, you know, like the general basis things.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, but I know Java, Python, C, so I'm...
is one step ahead.
Know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah.
So obviously, when that is exactly where you'll be able to figure out if you're actually that way inclined, because obviously these languages is not something that everybody can obviously connect with. Am I correct?
That is completely correct. Everyone does learn at their own pace. And if you have never been exposed to something, we can hardly expect you to show off and on your first day be a wizard at it.
Oh, yeah.
So these are the things that we've identified, and we try and we've planned our assessments around that to accommodate that.
And
Yeah.
the boot camp, I always get scared when I hear boot camp, because you're always hearing these gym people talking about boot camps, and it's like you're going to army, you're going to war. What is a boot camp all about?
So the boot camp, it's a 6-day process, and this is basically where we gauge whether you would be a good fit for the program. It's modeled very closely after what you could actually expect being on campus. So if someone is, I don't know how to say that. Like if you are unable to communicate with the people around you in the boot camp, we can almost assume that that might be something that you would struggle with otherwise. Obviously, some people are a lot more quiet. In the last one, we saw that a lot of the women tended to be a bit more on the quiet side, while they might let a man take charge of the situation. But that doesn't mean that they are a bad fit. So these are all things that we take into consideration when we see whether someone would be a good fit for the program.
Yeah.
I
Do you
like
know what?
that.
I think what you guys do is super revolutionary. You know what? Honestly, this is like world record to be quite honest. Cheryl, there is so much we want to talk to you about still. And so how do you, when do you apply then? When do things open? Is this like on an annual basis, the beginning of the year? When would things be open again?
So we are expecting that our applications will open probably mid-October, but don't quote me on that. Keep an eye on our social media and website for that information.
Yeah. All right. And what is what the website is? WeThinkCode.co.za.
Go.co.za. We also have multiple social media accounts, so you could also find more information on YouTube or on Facebook.
Yeah. You see how I knew that website? Because I speak Python, C, Java, baby. So, you know, they're all laughing.
Everybody's
know.
laughing.
I need another language. Is there like another one?
Okay, I'm running out. Ruby is a language as well.
Say again?
Ruby.
Ruby, like the gemstone.
Oh
Yeah,
my
boy.
Hi, you like that?
I like that one.
Yeah. I never knew. I never knew this.
Such a lot of languages.
Yeah, so this is it. But Cheryl, here's the thing. Let's get serious. So, and not giving away your age or anything. I mean, what you do is super exciting. You went through the program. You are now working at WeThinkCode. Give people just a bit of, and you are in sourcing and recruiting, which is like super exciting. You like looking for the super spies. Just give people, how exciting is it? I mean, come on, this is like a dream, I suppose, in so many ways.
It really is. This isn't something that I ever thought that I would be doing. I didn't have access to like a computer until I finished with high school. Like,
Wow.
no, that's untrue. I did, but I was just playing video games on it. So I never pictured being in a space that's like driving so much change in the way that it is. And it's amazing to be a part of that. And to also, you'll see with some of our students, even during the boot camp, there are so many inspired young South Africans that you come into contact with every single day. And I think for me, that kind of like motivates me as well to try and do better at what I do.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Beautiful.
You've said something there, that it is a constantly an expanding sector, and it certainly is. So what is there that Cheryl will tell young people? What is there that you would want to say? And especially now, considering we're in Women's Month, we're in the middle of it, the heart of it. It is all year, and it shouldn't just be a month or one day a year. It's just every day, you know. So what is there that you would like to say to young people, and especially looking at WeThinkCode?
Right. So like, obviously a lot of people might disagree with me on this, but something that we that WeThinkCode really teaches you is being able to make mistakes and to move on from there. So making mistakes, brushing yourself off, and then trying something different. And I think this, like, being able to like take risks, it's something that we're scared of doing it. We don't do it naturally. You might think and see a program like this and say, I'll probably be terrible at it. But how would you know if you would never like give yourself that chance to actually find out and discover for yourself? So if there's anything that I would say, it would be like mistakes happen, but it's what you do after those mistakes, and also just taking more risks, you know.
Yeah, no, I like that.
That is
I like
beautiful.
that.
You know,
I like that.
you know, Cheryl, I actually had a conversation with somebody as well, and it basically comes from your townships. And the idea out there is that a lot of people are not aware of these type of work that's available out there. And it's quite sad. So because of the fact, I also believe there's a lot of our people out there, that's our leaders, our future leaders, that need to be exposed to this. You know, and we as Mahala is really going to try our best just to punt this as far as possible to get all of those communities and people out there and say, you can do this. No matter if you don't have a PC, you can still apply. And you know what? They'll take you by the hand and they'll basically lead you to the end and then still give you a job at the end as well.
Yeah. You know what? And what you're saying, I mean, you know what you're saying, I mean, I mean, WeThinkCode is absolutely outstanding. That's all I can say, really. Cheryl, you know what? It is such a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for teaching me Ruby, Python, C, Java, and all of that.
He's so clever now.
Yeah. I'm going to create my own language. Okay. But
that is a thing that people do all the time.
they do?
Languages.
I am going to create my own language, and I expect my language to be on the bootcamp test.
I've already failed.
The guy who will put up the test will fail. It's not. It's just a horrible joke.
Cheryl, thank you so much.
Cheryl, is there anything you would like to add, just to tell us? Oh, so yes. So we did mention Durban in the beginning. So Durban, this is exciting. And like you said, this is constantly going.
Oh, yeah.
So the whole campus on Durban is going to be brilliant as well, yes?
Yeah. So like we've had our boot camps in Durban and we're opening up our first campus this year. So watch the space and let's see how that goes.
The space.
Awesome stuff, expanding everywhere. Cheryl Fredericks from WeThinkCode, there with sourcing and recruiting.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much for joining joining us. And do you have any questions for Rhoda?
For Dougal.
Because she don't know the languages.
I don't know any of those languages.
Same, man. Yeah, I don't. You know what I mean?
I think I'll pause this time. But thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Absolutely wonderful having you. Thank you, Cheryl. I'm still voting for Cheryl if she becomes like a presidential candidate of sorts.
Yes, I'll as well. I'll be ticking the box right on top.
I'm still voting for Cheryl. Rhoda, there's so many things you know what, and this is it. I mean, how do you summarize what she said? I know we spoke about a lot of other stuff, but but if I have to say Mahala Monday's characteristics, DNA, our personality, you know, if I had to take our essence, our fiber, our values, and align it with an institution, I choose this.
Almost definitely, yeah.
Because here's an organization that put it out there for you. So this is it in a nutshell. And we can use Cheryl as an example. She said like she had access to a computer, but not really she was using it for video games, but she never thought of doing it. She did it. Look at her. Ever expanding career. She used those words herself. She said the career is constantly expanding, the sector is constantly expanding. This is where the world is going.
Oh yes.
Right? So here's the thing. You're interested in this, go do the little test, the online application test or whatever that is. You get in, you go on the boot camp, you see whether you fit, because you kind of get the sense of what it is about.
Yeah.
You're like, this is what I want. In it you go. Sponsors are paying for this. You get work placement. 1 year permanent employment. Is that what she said?
That's what she said.
Campus is expanding in South Africa all the way. She said it.
Oh, yeah.
Probably the whole of Africa by next week.
Oh, most definitely.
The whole planet. Then it's Mars, Venus. You know the rest. I mean, this is it, man. This is it. I'm just, this is brilliant, honestly. Really.
So apply. And
Yeah.
don't forget, you need to share this video with everybody out there.
Exactly. www.wethinkcode.co.za.
That is right.
That is where you go. I've got nothing to add other than Ruby, Python, Java, C.
Remember, everybody, we've got lots of other episodes as well on our YouTube channel. So if there's anything you want to see, if it's not coding necessarily, there is others as well. Go have a look.
And thank you for your comments, Hubert. Leon, absolutely brilliant. I love that. And I actually want to read Hubert's comment again, and maybe we can get it on the screen. We'll ask our director if he could do that again for us, that last one. Oh, but it said, when we teach, we learn. Peer-to-peer learning or collaboration allows us to know more than we are capable of knowing by ourselves.
Beautiful.
And that is what he said. And
Let's end off for that one.
yeah, let's leave it there. Like and share, like Rhoda said. Thank you very much to Cheryl that was here, everybody. And go check it out, WeThinkCode.
WeThinkCode. See you. Bye.
Bye.